it's Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, and the day's support, resistance, and pivot levels. It is Tuesday, the 9th of February. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, we're looking at the hourly candlesticks. Bullish start to the day here after yesterday's rally. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 43,686 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 49,424. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through the morning high and new swing high 47,550.4. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 50,000 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin test resistance at 55,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 52,405. A slide through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 47,005 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer clear of sub 40s. Second major support level sits at 34,967, and we got the 23.6% fib at 36,597. Looking at the MACDs, got a widening of the bullish histogram this morning, supporting this early morning upside. On the EMA, the 50 is also pulling away from the 100 and the 200, also a bullish signal. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 43,686 and break back through the morning high 47,550.4 to bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, it's a bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 1700 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 1833. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from yesterday's swing high 1780. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum test resistance at 1900 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1914. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 1619 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 1600s. Second major support level sits at 1486. Looking at the MACD, got a slight narrowing of the bullish histogram this morning, but nothing suggestive of a bearish day ahead, so need to keep an eye on that. On the EMA, the 50 has pulled away marginally from the 100 and the 200. That's a bullish signal. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 1700, break through yesterday's swing high 1780 to then bring 1800s and resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, it's a choppy start to the day. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid the pivot at 161.7 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 175.41. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from this morning's high 169.5. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 180 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin test resistance at 190 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 183.2. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 153.9 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer well clear of sub 150s and the 23.6% fib at 148. Second major support level sits at 140.2. Looking at the MACD, got a slight narrowing of the bullish histogram, but nothing suggestive of a bearish morning ahead. So we need to keep an eye on that. On the EMA, the 50 has moved away marginally from the 100 and the 200. Also a bullish signal suggesting further upside to come. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 161.7, break through the morning high 169.5 through to 170 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's a bullish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 0.4451 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 0.4768. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break through yesterday's high 0.47. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 0.48 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, Ripple's XRP should test resistance at 0.50 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.5017. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 0.4203 into play. Buying an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of sub-0.4s. The 38.2% fib at 0.4070 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we've got a widening of the bullish histogram at the start of the day, supporting this early morning move. The EMA is also giving a bullish signal with the 50 pulling away from the 100 and the 200. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 0.4451, break back through to 0.47 levels to bring resistance levels into play.